Varys, Tyrion, and Davos talking about getting Jon and Daenerys married. And here's another point of my paranoid conspiracy theory that Tyrion is in on this with Cersei somehow.
Yeah, I got boxes full of Pepe!
Like the way that Varys is talking about, like it might, young people are stubborn, they won't listen to old people. He's kind of making the point that it'll be hard to convince them to get married. And Tyrion, he has the perfect opportunity to say, well, actually, I think they kind of like each other because I saw Jon go into her cabin late at night.
But if you think about his reaction to that at the end of last season, it was also kind of like upset / depressed kind of.
Yes.
So like I wonder if it's going to be revealed that he knows that who Jon is or something. Like
you think? Oh, I thought you were going to go with the fact that he loves Daenerys, which of course he
maybe
does.
that
Everyone does.
I guess that could be it. I feel like they haven't really dealt with that at all in the show.
How would Tyrion know about?
I don't know how he would. I'm just like both his reaction that you're sort of talking about in this discussion and the reaction at the end of last season are very similar.
I see what you're saying now.
And I don't necessarily know why, but that it does seem that way.
That does kind of make sense if he somehow knew that, but I don't know if he does. I'm going with my Tyrion conspiracy theory that I'm getting dug deeper into it. That Tyrion's working with the Night King. No, I don't know.
That would be a very deep conspiracy.
Oh, which to back up real quick, your boy Qyburn, when he says that
poor girl, the pox will take her within the year.
That at first made me think, like, wait, did he diagnose something? Or is that supposed to be something supernatural that Qyburn's got himself tapped into?
I think he diagnosed her by sight, but I don't know.
Yeah. He's the Dr. House of Westeros.
Yeah. Or the Hannibal. He's got a good sense of smell.
He could smell it. That's what I was going to say.
Did you just smell me? Difficult to avoid.
Oh, God. Even though it doesn't make sense because of accents, but fans wanted Mads Mikkelsen to play Euron. You'll find a lot of fan art out there of Mads Mikkelsen as Euron.
I'd be okay with that.
Oh, I'd be like accent be damned. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, the dragons aren't eating. Daenerys doesn't think her kids are eating enough. I'm not sure what the internet feels about it, but I loved the dragon writing.
I did not. I did not.
There it is. There it is. Let's get into it. Let's fight about it.
I liked okay, so two things. A, she goes out because she's concerned that the dragons aren't eating.
Right.
Looks at the dragons and is like, hey, let's ride them for a while.
Okay, I haven't thought about this.
No comment about that.
I haven't thought about this. Because she goes out there to see them. She's like, they're not eating enough. And Jon asks what's wrong, and she says,
they don't like the North.
It's like the family just moved. The kids don't like their new home. They're kind of grumpy, so let's take them around and show them the beauty, the possibilities. Also, there's the fact that technically they lost their brother/sister.
Yeah.
Dragons don't have a gender.
Let me rephrase my displeasure with the dragon riding scene. It was purely from a visual perspective. I thought the graphics were very bad, and they shouldn't have spent so much time on shots that don't look good.
Yeah,
it was fine when they were far away shots, but when it was like green screen Jon Snow, don't keep going back to that screen or be closer up to his face or something to not have it look bad. I also heard that the visual effects company for this episode and a couple others is different from the traditional one. So that could be part of it too. This also had one of the lower VFX budgets of
more
the
insider information.
So.
Interesting. You guys heard it here first. You got the scoop. Yeah, and then we're at a romantic waterfall. I like, despite the incest, I like Jon and Daenerys being all cutesy, flirty.
Yeah.
Couple.
There's nothing wrong with that. Although, I must say I'm a little hurt that you haven't considered me. You're my aunt. That doesn't matter.
Did you notice they didn't really play to it, but I feel like it was intended. There's a little connection to Ygritte there.
No.
But Daenerys says,
we could stay 1,000 years.
I feel like she said something similar about when they were in the cave together.
Oh, okay.
Knocking boots. Yeah. But Jon didn't really play it like, oh, you know what? That reminds me of my ex-girlfriend. Let me tell you about her.
Good job, Jon, for not playing it like that.
Yeah. He does have some social skills after all.
Oh,
Yeah.
Indubitably.
Oh, and then maybe the best part of the episode, Drogon staring down Jon.
Yeah, I thought that was very entertaining, but I was like very unclear on what I was supposed to feel about that.
Yeah. Well, maybe the dragon's like, dude, you know that's your aunt, right?
You're my aunt. That doesn't matter. Ants can fill that role.
And then we're in the Winterfell Smiths, and Gendry's working with the dragon glass, aka obsidian, and I
I
don't
was
know.
not
that's
aware
something
that you could pour, like,
Yes!
melt and pour obsidian.
Yeah,
Is that a thing?
I was the same way. I was like, wait a second, he's working the obsidian? Like, how? I don't know. How?
Well,
high?
I just googled obsidian, and the first result was obsidian melting point.
Well, yeah, people
And
must
there's
be
a YouTube
searching
video.
it.
Can you melt obsidian and cast a sword? I'm not going to watch a YouTube video, but I'm going to try and find...
All right, what's the answer? I'm glad you have this
Is it possible to
prepared.
safely remelt and cast obsidian? Melting, yes. Casting it, no.
Why is that? Or would that be too long?
Obsidian
to
is
get
an
into?
amorphous substance, that is to say, it is glass with a completely random internal makeup. The mineral cools slowly and develop their characteristic crystal structures while they're not.
So would you?
So as soon as it's melted, it will develop a crystal structure, which is not what you want. You would have to handle it like glass blowers blow their glass and mold it by embossing it. Particular technique. And to be fair, it's not obsidian, it's dragon glass, so...
Well, they call it both.
Oh, did they say that? Okay.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. They're like, this is dragon glass. The maesters call it obsidian. That was no one in particular. That was just somebody in Westeros that I was doing an accent for. What are we looking for here? Mythbusters. Would you call this one busted, or would you say maybe?
I'll
I
say
don't-
maybe until I watch that YouTube video I found.
Well, you're right, but for the wrong reason.
They got a twofer reunion. Arya with the Hound, Arya with Gendry. The one with the Hound I was actually more excited for than Gendry. And I was sitting in my seat just feeling so giddy. And I wanted so much more out of it. And it's stupid, it doesn't make sense. I wanted the Hound to just like scoop her up in his arms and give her a big hug. But it's like, of course the Hound's not going to do that.
Right.
It was perfect. But I was just like so emotionally invested in that moment that I wanted much more to it. You know, I feel like we got to take a second to step back and thank goodness that we got all these great reunions and there was no overt tragedy leading up to them, you know?
Yeah,
Like, before
actually.
it'd be like, like the Red Wedding. It's like, oh, Arya's going to be back with her family. She's going to see her mom. It's going to be so happy. And it's like, nope, everyone dies.
Before you leave today, your head's going to be on that platter.
Oh, and the Gendry, Arya, same with Jon and Daenerys, like seeing them with their little flirty thing going on. I love it.
My only addition to that was it was funny when Gendry was like,
Well, when
she
he-
said something to him about him being handsome, but it wasn't that, and then he said,
I mean, you look good.
Thanks. So do you.
like, she looks exactly the same as she did eight years ago. So
No, I mean, when they knew each other, her hair was cut short. She was pretending to be a boy.
Yeah, I
She
guess
was a
so.
little scrawny thing. Now she's taller.
kind of.
They kind of echo. There's a lot of, like George Lucas says.
It's like poetry, so if they rhyme, every stanza kind of rhymes with the last one.
They're, like I said, with Jon entering Winterfell as king. And here with Gendry and Arya, there's kind of a repeated banter that they have
Don't call me that.
As you wish, milady.
from season 2 when she reveals who she is. And he's like, you're a lady.
I should be calling you milady,
Do not call me milady.
as milady commands. Well, that was unladylike.
Yeah.
A little cutesy callback. And then, what was that diagram? Could you tell what that diagram was that she is asking him to make?
No, it seemed like a arrow that, like, it was something inside of something else.
Oh, maybe it's like those sling arrow type things. You know what I'm talking about? That like tribal people use. And then
Oh,
you
yeah, and it kind of throws it out, yeah.
Put the spear inside that and then kind of sling it. Oh, you know what it could be? It could just be she wants a spear of obsidian and just wants to be able to quickly replace the tip because it's probably going to break all the time, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Moving on. Oh, maybe the best scene
So you're the man.
Rich man?
or contender for the best scene of the episode, Sam with Daenerys.
Yes, very good.
I got verklempt.
Please do not get me started. It's so unfair. Now I'm getting emotional. I'm a little verklempt.
You're
Yeah. He was... I mean, that actor is great, so...
And then Into the Crypts with what I will go ahead and say is the best scene of the episode. With finally the big reveal to Jon. He is Aegon Targaryen, King of Westeros.
And I will say, I was so happy, and we talked about this the last time, but, like, I was so happy that they didn't drag it out, that, like, he wasn't,
yes.
you know, Sam was going to go talk to him, but something else happened, or Jon wasn't there, that, like, the information that was needed was actually given. It was so comforting to me.
Yes, and everything felt natural, like Jon's
Yeah.
denial of it, and, like, holding on to the father that he knew, and the direction was really good. Like,
Yes.
there's a really nice camera movement of Jon talking about Ned, and the statue of Ned's, like, over his shoulder, and then as Sam is telling him about why Ned lied, the camera kind of shifts around, and then you have the statue of Lyanna, and it's like, oh, it's so perfect.
You're the true king. Aegon Targaryen, sixth of his name, protector of the realm, all of it.
Oh, and then we end on the strong question where Sam says, you gave up your crown to save your people. Do you think she will do the same? What do you think? Do you think Daenerys will hear the story and go along with quote-unquote rightful heir business?
Nope. I feel like she has, you know, a lot more of her father in her than she sometimes appears to have.
Oh,
Yeah.
but you know what? Jon knows the truth now. And Sam allegedly doesn't know about Jon being romantic with Daenerys. Bran probably knows. I guess now Jon does know his aunt is his lover. And his lover is his aunt.
That doesn't matter.
All right, and then we're on to Last Hearth. Glad to see Tormund and those other guys are still alive.
And Ed.
And Ed,
Old Ed.
jumping ahead there.
Sorry. I mean, if people have not yet seen the episode and are listening to this, that is a poor choice.
But when they're walking in there and you see all like the bits and pieces of people and blood, it's like, why are you walking into that castle? Like, why are you guys just moving
Yeah, I'm
on?
not sure what they were looking for. I guess they were looking for more White Walkers to kill, or whites to kill.
Tormund even kind of gives Beric a look like, why are you going in there, man? Like, it seemed a little ill-advised. We run into Ed, what is many people's favorite moment of the episode, where he says he's got blue eyes. He's like, I've always had blue eyes. I love Tormund. Except my other legit criticism I have with the episode, where you got the dead kid on the wall, White Walker decoration trick, just mounting a kid to the wall. Tormund knows better than to turn his back on a dead body.
Well, it is like a little dead body. Like, it really couldn't do that much damage, I feel like, even as a white.
Like, of all the people in that room, Tormund
Yeah.
is like the one person that would not turn his back on a dead body.
That's true.
Because, like, did the kid even have a knife?
I don't think so.
Was he trying to get him with a knife? So that was a really well done moment of horror. Then a hooded figure enters Winterfell, and at first I thought it was going to be Melisandre, but then as it continued, it was like, oh, clearly a more masculine figure, and it's like, oh, it's Jaime. Of course it's Jaime. Of course.
I briefly thought it was going to be, like, that's sort of the default move for the evil person. So, like, in my mind, is like, is it going to be the Night King? Like, what is happening here? You know, like, the hooded person in the dark. But yes, Jaime Lannister it is.
You know, that is a good point. I was thinking about that. Like, what if there was a white, you know, just like blending in with the crowd, just wanders inside, and then
I guess they don't
start...
have enough, like, you know.
Well,
I'm not sure if they're
like,
able to think enough to do that.
I mean, I think the implication is that the White Walkers control them.
Oh, yeah. So they could do one in particular.
Which is kind of, you know, like in season 1, book 1, with those Night's Watchmen dead bodies that they brought into Castle Black. They were like on a mission trying to kill specific people. Then Bran and Jaime, again, so it's like poetry. They rhyme.
I did not think about it until afterwards the fact that Jaime has not seen Bran since he pushed him out a window. Like you sort of
Right.
forget that the characters in the show are not the viewer, because like we've been seeing these people for 8 years,
Right.
but like he hasn't seen him for 8 years, which is cool.
And that is the premiere of Game of Thrones.